Hey everyone, thank you and welcome back to a brand new episode of Coffee with the Beauty Reviewer. And today folks, I'm giving you my personal review for the movie Kong vs. Godzilla. And this is going to be a spoiler-filled review because the movie's been out for just about a week at this point. And so, all I have to say is that this is my very first movie theater experience post-pandemic. Because, as you all know, that it's been a while that we've been on lockdown and just with everything going on, that I really never had the chance to actually go to a movie theater since 2019, and the last movie I saw in the theaters was The Way Back, and that was quite a while ago. But anyways, this is my very first movie experience of 2021, and I just want to say thank you so much for watching my video, and let's get started with my spoiler review for Kong vs. Godzilla. Hey everyone, thank you so much for watching my channel, and please like and comment down below, and please subscribe to my channel as it really helps me out. And let's get started with today's video. So this is a movie that is pretty much, it just sums it up in the title. It's King Kong vs. Godzilla. And I just gotta tell you right off the bat is that this movie is it's a hot mess, but it's by far one of the most entertaining movies I've seen in a while. But yeah, I mean, like, we did get the Zack Snyder Justice League, and I love that movie. But when it comes down to kind of like just being entertained from beginning to end, this movie really made me feel good. It just made me feel like, okay, I'm in for like just a complete big kaiju showdown, and that is exactly what we got from this movie. You got the likes of King Kong and Godzilla, one of the most recognizable kaijus in all of cinema. And so, from my own perspective, is that I absolutely love what they did with this movie. I mean, for one thing, I think this is just something that a lot of franchise movies usually draw back on, is that they try to do like, this is the character from that previous movie, or there's this other thing that's from that previous movie. And I'm all like, please don't do that. Because in order for you to showcase a good, solid movie, you really don't need to like, you don't need to handicap a movie in order for people to be entertained, because like, I mean, yeah, when you're trying to build a universe, you do want to build up like some elements that could be like a continuous thing that will be like a stride throughout the entire series, because I'm pretty sure they're going to continuously do more MonsterVerse movies even after this one, because I'll tell you what, I think this movie is definitely going to be like a nice step into a new phase of the MonsterVerse going forward. And for one thing is that the visual effects is off the charts, absolutely incredible. The action scenes are a lot of fun, and I think the only thing that was just like the big negative in this movie was definitely the human characters. But I'm not gonna tell you that all of the characters were bad, because I do feel like that there were at least about like just a good handful of characters that actually worked in the movie, because I feel like that the ones that really worked the most was definitely the characters that was more kind of like on the side of King Kong, because you got the likes of this little girl. She's actually part of the tribe that you actually saw from Kong Skull Island. She comes from that tribe that worships King Kong, and so like, she's deaf, but she's doing a lot of sign language, and I know that this means home, but there's just something that just really worked so well, especially with this little girl. I can't remember her name, but she was a nice addition to this franchise, because I think she was the one character that I cared the most for, because I mean, the actress herself, I really think that this is like the best acting that she will ever have. And I'm pretty sure she's going to keep on progressing and becoming a really good actress in future movies. So I'm looking forward to seeing what this actress can do. Like, I gotta admit, I mean, like, I really do think that a lot of child actors are becoming a lot better in recent years. I mean, you got the likes of Millie Bobby Brown. She was a child actor, and now she's like almost a full-grown adult at this point. And then that's just one thing that I really enjoyed about this movie, is that I really do think that Millie Bobby Brown, I think that there was at least one character in the group that she was with, because these were kind of like the team Godzilla. Because, like, she's from the previous Godzilla movie, and so you're seeing, like, these different perspectives. You're just going, like, oh, okay, you're emphasizing with these characters who support Godzilla. And then you got this other group that you emphasize with because they're on the journey with King Kong. And so, like, I just really enjoyed what they were trying to do, is that they were trying to, like, have two separate stories that it would actually have a big collision at the very climactic battle. But when it comes down to kind of like the characters, like I told you before, I really feel like that there were some characters that were completely useless. Like, there was that one actor that's actually from the second Deadpool. I think he was a completely unnecessary character, because I really do think that Millie Bobby Brown's character, I am pretty sure she could have eventually just met up with the conspiracy theorist guy all by herself without the help of her friend. And so, like, she could probably just stole her dad's car and went to look for the guy, and that could have been it. And then there were a few other characters, and there was others such as like the very actual bad guy. His daughter was in the mix, and I'm like, do you really need that? Do you really need to have a connection with the big bad? Because the big bad, he's just a big guy who is trying to act like he's all, oh, this is for the world, this is for our society. This is for the human race to survive. We are Apex. And he gives you that ting smile, and he's all like, he's the man. But it just really felt like that he was a very generic villain. But one thing that I really do appreciate that what they were doing is that they were trying to kind of like have him be kind of like this villain for the first and second act, and then the third act, that you actually get to see the most glorious team up in all of cinema, I would say. I mean, it is up. I would say that the team up between Godzilla and King Kong, the team up between those two, was pretty dang sweet. Like, I do think it was definitely up there with the likes of like the Avengers, and not so much of Batman and Superman and Dawn of Justice, but definitely in Zack Snyder's Justice League. Like, that assemble was very nicely done. So either way, I really do think that this was just it was a real movie that was talking about like who would win a fight between Godzilla and King Kong. And you actually do see an actual victor, and this is the first time in cinema that you actually get to see who is the indefinite winner full scale. So Godzilla is the indefinite winner of a fight between King Kong, and King Kong was just on the verge of death, and then all of a sudden he's wielding this. His story was very reflective of like Thor from Infinity War, because he did get his ass handed to him by Godzilla in their first skirmish. The whole story itself, it really felt like it was like a story about Thor against Thanos. Like, it was almost the same template, but it somehow worked. It was just complete cheese fest. It was a complete mess, and it was just so easy to digest. It was just pure entertainment fun. Like I said before, is that Godzilla, he's actually on the hunt for Apex, because he knows he's actually sensing radiation come from King Ghidorah that he actually killed in the previous movie, because there was actually a severed head of King Ghidorah that he did in a previous battle, that apparently the people of Apex, they took the head of King Ghidorah and actually enhanced it. All of a sudden they started doing a lot of very cyberpunk technology stuff, like this was like transmutation. Like, they now have an actual human who is like transcending his mind to now like sync up with King Ghidorah's mind inside of his skull to link up to Mechagodzilla. And yes, if you're not an actual like Godzilla or King Kong nerd like I am, you might not know exactly what I'm talking about, but if you do know, but the thing is that this is the very first time that we're getting Mechagodzilla in a much more epic way, because we've already gotten Mechagodzilla in previous Japanese movies, but we never gotten this Mechagodzilla in the way that we did in this go around. But he looked glorious, and they really hinted at Mechagodzilla for a while. And this is when both Godzilla and King Kong, they set aside their differences, even though that King Kong was on the verge of death after being knocked out by Godzilla in the previous fight. But then all of a sudden, I'm pretty sure this has a lot to do with the fact that Godzilla had to fight against King Kong. I'm pretty sure he got weary, and now he's all like, oh crap, now I need to take this thing on. And then all of a sudden, he got his ass handed to him, and then the people that was with King Kong, they were going like, let's take this machine and give him a boot up with a big dose of electricity that will kind of like restart his heart. And they just, boom, they revive him. And you see this desperate attempt for the little girl to say, hey, King Kong, do not fight Godzilla. That Mechagodzilla, he's the bad one. And she started tearing up, and she's telling him to be careful. That was a really nice moment. I really enjoyed that a lot. But altogether, I really think that this movie is just something that we all wanted for such a long time, and they actually delivered. It is not a perfect movie. It's not a bad movie, but I just could not believe of how incredible the kaiju fights were, because there were some fights in the Hollow Earth, there was some fights in the ocean, there was some fights in Hong Kong, and like there's just like fights all around, and you are just being entertained just by the complete collateral damage that is being done, especially to Hong Kong. You're just seeing it get toppled over. You're seeing cannons just lunging, and it's just like there's almost hardly no more Hong Kong after the end of the fight. But either way, I really love this movie. Lots of fun. And I just gotta tell you, this is definitely worth watching both in theater and at home. So, with my ranking, I gave this movie a good 8.2. So that was my review for Kong vs. Godzilla. And I just want to say thank you so much again for watching this video. And I also have to tell you is that even though that I'm autistic, there's always an upside for being autistic. I really don't see it as a disability, but I see it as a privilege. So let's just keep on drinking coffee. Let's keep on spreading the word that being autistic is not bad. Tell your friends, tell your family, or if you're autistic yourself, just keep on smiling and just get better every single day. And let's just keep pressing on, spreading the word, and I will see you guys next time.